so this is language lesson 38. So we are actually reviewing for a test that is coming up. What day is our test? It's actually Monday of next week. So we will be reviewing this whole week for our test that is coming up on Monday. So go ahead and get your language books out and open them to page 79 and 80. Put your name and date at the top. Do not tear it out because we will be working on the back page for a couple days, okay? So on page 79, you can pause the video. Okay, so on page 79, we're going to practice with pronouns and agreement. So we're going to cross out the incorrect form. Remember, our pronoun has to agree in gender, but then it also has to agree in number as well. If we're talking about, if we have a subjective case pronoun or a singular pronoun, then that singular pronoun, the verb with that singular pronoun must be in agreement with it, okay? So number one, would we say I do or I does? We would say I do, very good, so we are going to cross out does. Number two, would we say he were or he was? We would say he was, very good. Number three, would we say you weren't or you wasn't? We would say you weren't, very good, so cross out wasn't. Number four, would we say she is or she are? She is, very good. Is our singular verb. Cross out are. Number five, we hasn't or we haven't. We haven't, very good, so cross out hasn't. You can pause the video and go ahead and complete 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 on your own. Okay, so looking at thing B, you're going to identify the underlined pronouns in the following sentences as demonstrative or interrogative. Remember, demonstrative pronouns, this, that, these, and those are demonstrative. Remember our little song, I think the B-Day students had that going on. And then the interrogative pronouns, who, whom, whose, which, and what. So that we kind of had fun with those pronouns on that day when we learned those. So you're going to either write an INT for interrogative pronoun or DEM for demonstrative pronoun. And think C, for every verb below, write a subjective case personal pronoun that would serve as a correct subject. So example, he doesn't. So for number one, you're going to write a word that would, don't is a plural verb. So you would have to find a plural subjective case pronoun to write. So what would a plural subjective case pronoun be? We don't or they don't. Those are both plural subjective case pronouns. So follow those directions. You're going to use the subjective case, but then you have to see, is it going to be a singular pronoun or a plural pronoun, okay? Turn to page 80. So on page 80, we're going to write the correct choice, the correct verb in the blank, and then after we write the correct verb in the blank, we are going to diagram. We are only going to do 1 through 15 today, okay? So let's start it. Angelica and Alexis are or is here. They are here, very good. Number 2, Mr. Watson is or are here also. Mr. Watson is, very good. If we have a singular verb, we have to have a singular subject, we have to have a singular verb. And remember, singular verbs have S's in them. It's backwards. Number 3, there aren't or there isn't 5 boys here. There aren't, very good. Number 4, Dad and I aren't or isn't going. Aren't, very good. Number 5, were or was you afraid of the camel? You is singular, so were is our singular verb. I'm sorry, you always takes a plural verb. Were you afraid of the camel? Number 6, they were or was electing a new president. They were, very good. Number 7, Allison and Paige were or was at Sunday school. They were, very good. Number 8, there weren't or wasn't 3 basketballs in the bag. There weren't 3 basketballs. Number 9, you weren't or wasn't here last week. You weren't, very good. Number 10, he wasn't or weren't on time. He wasn't on time. I want you to go ahead and finish 11 through 15 on your own, okay? And I'm going to diagram 1 through 10 with you, and then you're going to also diagram 11 through 15 on your own, okay? So you're going to need to have out a clean sheet of paper at the top, language, name, and date. Some of you are getting very messy and very sloppy with even putting names on papers, let alone heading your papers up. On the top line, language. Under language, name and date. In between your name and date, page 80. That is all how we head up our papers. I need to see that on everyone's papers, okay? All right, so here we go. Number 1, Angelica and Alexa are. So we have a compound subject. So our rocket will be on the subject side. I'm going to number my diagram. Are is our verb. Who or what are. Angelica, and what was the other name? Angelica and Alexa. And who's driving the rocket? And. Okay? Number 2. Mr. Watson is here also. Our verb is. Who or what is? Mr. Watson. That was quite the easy diagram. Number 3. There aren't 5 boys here. So, are is our verb. Who or what are. Boys is our subject. Number 4, Dad and I aren't going. So we have a compound subject again. Our rocket is on the subject side. Our verb is are going. Who or what are going? Dad and I. Number 5. Were you afraid of the camel? Were is our verb. Who or what were? You. Number 6. They were electing a new president. Were electing is our verb. Who or what we're electing, they is our subject. Number 7. Allison and Paige were at Sunday school. We have a compound subject again. So our rocket goes on the subject side. Were is our verb. Who or what were? Why do I keep losing these names? What number? Allison and Paige. Alright, number 8. Our sentence says there weren't 3 basketballs in the bag, so our verb is were. Got a stretch over there. And who or what were? Basketballs. Basketballs were. Plural subject, plural verb. Number 9. You weren't here last week. Were is our verb. Who or what were? You, and I think that is a cap format. capital Y. Remember, if it's capitalized in our sentence, we capitalize it in our diagram. You were. And then number 10, we have he wasn't on time. Was is our verb. Who or what was? He. So that is diagrammed 1 through 10. You will go ahead and diagram 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Alright? And you will complete page 80 as well.